Alright folks, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm just going to give you a quick review of the Decathlon Core-Inked Folding Wall Rack. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, so in terms of the size of the rack, it's 230 centimeters high. It is 135 centimeters width across, and when it's fully folded, it protrudes out from the wall only at 14.3 centimeters. So basically, when folded along, it will protrude as much as these bolted on pieces here. So quite space efficient once folded. So when it's unfolded, then it will protrude about 63 centimeters, basically from the back wall, including the stringer, the wooden stringers, right to the edge of the upright here is 63 centimeters. So I know some half racks you can get that are very low profile, maybe only 40 centimeters, some small half racks, but I'm not aware of any folding racks that have less depth than that. So it's pretty good for what it is there. The other thing I suppose to note is the assembly. So it's fairly straightforward. The instructions are good. There's everything's well laid out. There's also a video Decathlon have on their YouTube page. One thing to bear in mind is just with the stringers is that it doesn't include the coach bolts just here. These it does include the bolts to attach these brackets to the stringer, but it does not include the bolts that will actually go into your studs. So what you'll have to do is, whether you're putting this in a garage or some other room like that, is you'll need to find what centers your studs are at, to make sure basically that these wooden stringers go into the stud, because they're going to be supporting partially some of the weight. It'll go onto the floor then afterwards, and that'll bear some of the weight, but you really do need to be going these into a stud, because if it's just going to like plasterboard or something like that, it's just going to pull right out of the wall. Now, it was very easy for me to figure out where the studs were, because in this cabin there was actually marks where a nail gun was used and where these wooden boards were popped into it. So it was very easy for me to see. I can just see right up there. But there is ways there's stud finders and stuff like that, and if you can find one, they're usually at kind of predefined centers. So yeah, so that's basically, once you follow the instructions, it's straightforward enough. You just got to measure it up and make sure it all fits up okay. These uprights here, these are actually in two pieces. They're held together with these bolts here. You can see there. I know more premium racks would tend to have these uprights in one piece, but again, you're kind of at a price point here. And also, just with regards delivery and stuff like that, it makes it a lot easier. It's in a smaller box, and it's kind of, I suppose it's easier to manage. Not a huge thing, but just something to bear in mind. And it's probably what may kind of limit the weight capacity slightly, but I'll talk about that a bit later. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward to put together. To actually fold and unfold the rack, you've got these bolts here. They're like hinge pins basically. You pull them out, the pull-up bar will collapse down, and then you've got one up here for this side, and then down for this side. So these will basically pull right out. You can lift up then the rack. It comes up out of this groove in the bracket, and then we'll rotate inwards. I never really fold it because I actually have enough space now here where I don't need to fold it. The other thing was I added this high-low pulley here, which I'll review in another video. So even if I was to fold it, I can't fold it in fully just because of my setup here. So obviously, if you don't buy a pulley like this, you'll be able to fold it right flat to the wall and get, save a lot of space. Okay, and just to mention on the quality of the rack itself, I was fairly impressed with it, to be honest, overall. It's got, as you can see there, max weight capacity of 200 kilos of 441 pounds. I mean, I've been getting kind of budget gym equipment for a while, you know, Argos kind of stuff, or York, cheaper benches and things like that. And yeah, no, this is pretty good. This is it's 60 by 60. Is the steel here. I think these are 5/8 of an inch holes here. So I know more kind of beefier, more premium racks now would be kind of 3" by 3", which would give it probably a bigger weight capacity, and this would be one solid steel piece. But again, this is just it's a different price bracket, really, you know. So yeah, but the quality itself, I mean, it's fine to use. The spotter arms, it includes these spotter arms, these safety spotter arms, which are, to be honest, kind of ridiculously short. They don't protrude really enough, but nice that they're included anyway. And then you've got as well just your J-cups here, which are got a nice rubber coating there just to protect your bars and stuff like that. So yeah, so it includes those. And yeah, I was impressed by the quality, you know, feels solid, feels heavy. I'm not sure on the exact weight on it, but it's yeah, definitely feels sturdy once it's attached to the wall, with the pull-up bar. And then just in case there's a bit off, say, with your measurements, you can actually unscrew these little guys here on the bottom of the uprights, and they will make sure it makes contact with the floor, so it's taking up the correct amount of weight. Just to also mention here, there is a hanger just here which you can store your bar on, so when it's folded in, your Olympic bar can pop right in there and fold across. I don't have that at the moment. I just got resistance bands because I have my bars just there stored on hangers on the wall, so that's just something to know as well. Then in terms of it, there's a few attachments now. Because of the size of the uprights and the holes, these wouldn't be universally compatible. So obviously with more premium racks and stuff like that, what I have heard online is that Mirafit in the UK attachments will suit it with the 60 by 60 and the hole size. But Decathlon do a couple of their own which are fairly reasonably priced as well. So you've got here, these are the dip attachments. So they just slot into the side there. They're very well built as well. They're kind of very sturdy feeling. You can do kind of all kinds of dips, no problem on them. Then the other attachment that I've got here is the landmine attachment. So this is great. You got a lot of range of exercises there. Your barbell just slips in here. It can slide in these holes here, so you can fit the landmine at the front using these holes, or you've got these extra holes here just in the rack. So I've just fitted mine there, so you've got a nice angle it can come out of the rack at. It also just includes a little sleeve then on this side, so you can store just a couple of plates there. I didn't need a huge amount of storage because I've got plate storage on the wall just over there, bought separately. But yeah, so impressed with the quality there, and it's good that there's some type of an ecosystem there. You know, with Decathlon, they didn't just release the rack, and this fits on all of their all of their different racks. So they have another one, the Rack 900, which is a kind of a bigger, more expensive non-folding one. And yeah, it fits on those same attachments fit on those as well. So that's good to know. Now you can get, there's like a pulley type attachment you can attached to the pull-up bar just for a high pulley, which I did initially purchase, but it's one of those, you know, it's a cheaper type of system where the weight just swings basically on a pin, and it's fine for beginners, and if you're not, you know, if you're kind of moving the weight very slowly. But yeah, I just upgraded to a pulley on a rail. I found it a lot better, but you know, it's decent for beginners anyway. Okay, so yeah, the next thing really to mention will be the price of the rack, which is really kind of, I suppose, what drew me to it anyway. So I got this for €300 in Republic of Ireland, which I thought was a really great price for a folding rack. I don't remember at the time any cheaper options that were decent quality anyway. At least, you know, I mean, this has a 200 kilo weight limit for any lifts inside the rack. So realistically, the only lift, unless you're doing rack pulls or something like that, but if you're squatting over 200 kilos, fair play to you. You'll need probably a better rack, which is fair enough. But this is going to suit 90, well, let's say 90% of lifters, of kind of casual lifters anyway, and they'll be able to use that. And 200 kilos is a fine limit, you know. Yeah, so bench and squat is really the bigger lifts that you'll be doing, so you'll be doing well, you know, if you're getting up to those numbers. But yeah, so €300 price. I've seen this on sale for €200, which for me is ridiculously good value for a folding rack. That you know, of this quality with attachments as well that can go with it. So I think the price is really the huge draw here. And because the rack is lighter, generally the shipping isn't too expensive. So yeah, really good play on the price compared to others. I mean, most folding racks are, you're talking minimum €400, and for maybe even lower end ones. So yeah, great price. Okay then, so just to finish out some of the pros and cons. The major pro here is the price. It's a great price for a folding rack, and you know, this will suit a lot of people. So that's the huge one there. The other thing, I suppose, is it's true of all folding racks, is that they're space saving. So if you're tight for space, like many people are, you know, you can fold the rack back, and you know, you'll be able to save some room in your gym or whatever it is in your garage or anything like that. The other major pro is the attachment. So the fact that Decathlon or Corinth have included some attachments, the likes of the dip attachments, the landmine, the pulley attachment. So it's good to see that they're, you know, it's not just a kind of a cheap old rack that they just send out there, but you know, you can upgrade it and add more functionality to the rack, despite it being so cheap to begin with. The cons then would be, I suppose, the weight limit would be a con for some people. Obviously, if you're more experienced with the 200 kilos or 441 pounds, that'll be, you know, a bit of a con there. The other thing might be the quality for some people. Obviously, as I said, the uprights are a smaller you know, diameter. It's a 60 by 60 centimeter, or kind of 2 inch by 2 inch ish, whereas maybe the more premium ones, like for the American people, probably the Rogue or Rep stuff will be 3 inch by 3 inch. A lot of them is kind of like a standard now for premium weight equipment. But again, this isn't premium, you know, it's a great product, but it's not at that bracket, you know, that kind of way. So the other thing then, in terms of the cons, I would say that the spotter arms are just way too short. They are just, you know, I don't know. I think they could definitely, if they made them just maybe an inch or two longer, they'd be so much more functional. They're barely functional, basically, because they're so short. And then leading in off from that, the only other con then really I could think would be the lack of compatibility with third-party attachments and stuff like that, which, you know, can be a thing, but you can find them. There is some manufacturers make them for this frames, but more and more now are kind of aimed towards the bigger, thicker steel frames. So overall, would I recommend this, I suppose, is the question, and the answer will be absolutely yes. I think it's a brilliant rack, especially for anybody starting. You're not going to have to make a huge investment. If you can get it on sale like that for €200, that is crazy cheap, you know, for as gym equipment goes, and the amount of use you will get out of this is absolutely worth it. So I would definitely recommend this if that weight limit doesn't you know, bother you, and if you want to save space and you want to save money, I would totally recommend this rack. So hope you enjoyed the review, hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a like and a subscribe, and if you have any questions to ask, just pop them below in the comments. Okay, cheers, see ya.